so much. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to, to all the participants, considering your different time zones. During the session, you're always welcome to use the chat box. You can either send me a direct message, or you can, if you are allowed, you can send a message in general regarding any question, comment, or anything that comes to your mind regarding the topic. I would be more than happy to go through these comments and respond to you whenever it is required. So today we will be talking about a very interesting and important aspect of human resource management, which is regarding offering psychological safety in the workplace. We do understand that human resource management departments in organizations, they're not only concerned about taking care of the operational side of things. Apart from the typical operational activities, typical administrative activities that the HR departments are doing, like, for example, recruitment and selection, training and development, orientation and socialization, having policies regarding employee motivation, ensuring health and safety protocols. These are the typical operational procedures, but over the time period, the role of HR department has evolved into a more strategic player, or a more strategic business partner, to be correct, in the workplace. Now, as a strategic partner, HR department plays a very significant role in determining the overall culture and environment of the organization. Now, what we are seeing is that the leading organizations in the world at the moment are focusing a lot on how the employees are being treated and how they actually feel at the workplace. Because it is a clear-cut understanding of human resource management that employees are considered to be a source of competitive advantage for the organization. The organizations believe that by investing on their employees, by making sure that the employees are feeling engaged, the employees are feeling valued, the employees are feeling important, only then they will be able to derive full productivity out of the employees, and they can convert them into a source of competitive advantage. And one of the main important aspects of this is offering psychological safety in the workplace, which means that all the employees are confident, all the employees are sure that they have a voice, they can raise their voice, and their voice will be considered. They have an environment in which the employees, they feel safe, and they know that they should not be feeling threatened in any way. They should not be feeling uh, coerced in any way. They should not be feeling that any kind of activity that goes on within the organization is not undermining their rights in any way. So psychological safety is considered to be one of the leading areas of concern, and most top organizations are currently working on it, on this. So today we will be exploring that what is psychological safety, how is it important for modern workplaces, and what has HR and got to do with it, and what is the role of organizational culture in promoting and encouraging psychological safety. So, in order to describe or define the idea of psychological safety, let us look at a statement that a belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up regarding their ideas, questions, concerns, or mistakes. Uh, we may understand that, all the employees are grown ups. We may have an assumption that all the employees are able to raise their opinions and voices. But when it comes to sharing their concerns, when it comes to making mistakes, so most of the organizations, they do not really encourage the employees to go think out of the box. They don't encourage the employees to take risks. This is one significant factor that creates a kind of a, what can be the word, a kind of a hostile working environment for the employees who want to do something above and beyond for their organization. I'm sure that you guys will be able to relate with your work experiences. For those of you who are already working in organizations, may be able to understand that what kind of a culture is being promoted in your organization. Are you able to share your ideas, raise your concerns or opinions with your peers, with your supervisors, with the people around you. It is all about developing a kind of a culture that the employees, they feel that their opinions are sacred, their opinions are valued, and they would not be punished or humiliated in any way when it comes to sharing of their ideas. Now, when the employees have the freedom to share ideas without fear, it is mandatory for the organization to develop a culture where there is a to and fro movement of the communication channels, and it is ensured that people are able to communicate with respect with each other. And it is developed as a norm that an acceptance of mistakes becomes a part of their regular learning. It also ensures that equal participation of employees is there in whatever work is being done. So, psychological safety becomes a very critically important aspect when it comes to employee motivation or employee engagement, or making sure that the employees are able to perform up to the mark. Why does it matter in human resource management? As I've already mentioned, that HR is largely concerned about employee productivity. The Department of Human Resource Management tries to make sure that its operational costs are minimized and its strategic role is being played in a way that contributes positively towards the overall organizational development. It not this Psychological safety not only boosts employee engagement, it also encourages the employees to continue to stick with the organization, as it helps in employee retention, because when employees, they feel that they are being valued, when employees, they feel that their voice is being heard, they would want to stick to the organization, and it helps the HR department to minimize the costs of recruitment and selection. You know, when it comes to having a wonderful culture within an organization, most of the leading organizations are now paying special attention towards developing their core values within their culture in ways that are very clear and that are very unique in many ways to the employees. For example, there is an organization called Zappos. Zappos is an online shoe seller company, pretty famous and quite wonderful when it comes to its working environment. It has been ranked in top 100 companies to work for many years in a row. So one of the things that this company follows is its wonderful and unique organizational culture, which is based around a set of 10 core values. Now, all these 10 core values are pretty unique and distinctive. For example, it enc- as part of their core values, they encourage the employees to feel unique. They encourage the employees to do weird things. They encourage the employees to have fun. They encourage the employees to focus a lot on teamwork and all the other aspects that they want their employees to feel associated with. Now, in terms of increasing employee retention, companies like Zappos, uh, they focus a lot on making sure that the right people are welcomed on board within the organization, and only the right people are staying or being retained in the organization, because they don't want to hire the people who are not a suitable fit for their organization. Since this company Zappos is following a very unique and very dynamic organizational culture, and which is unlike any other organization working in the industry. So they do regular surveys in their organization. Like after 6 months, they ask their employees that if you are able to find yourself being a productive part of the culture, you are encouraged to continue. And if you think that you are not being able to contribute significantly towards the organizational culture, and if you think that you are not a suitable fit for the organizational culture, the company will actually pay you money to leave the organization, and obviously leave respectfully. Now, this is something really wonderful and very unique, that the organization is actually encouraging the employees who do not want to continue with the organization is actually encouraging them to take money and leave the organization. This means that the organization would not be compromising on their set of core values and their organizational culture, and they are willing to let go of the employees rather than having the wrong people on board. So HR departments are very much concerned about having the right people on board, and they would want them to continue for a longer period of time. Now, psychologically safe environments not only boost employee engagement, and they not only improve retention, but they encourage innovation and creativity as well. You know, for innovation and creativity to take place, the employees, they need to have confidence to speak up. Uh, there are few organizations which encourage uh, the I would say the coming up of new ideas in ways that it says that there is no such thing as a bad idea. All ideas are good ideas. So they regularly hold different kind of activities. Excuse me. They hold different kind of activities and get-togethers and meetups to ensure that the employees are coming to those events and are willing to share their opinions regarding any creative or innovative methodology or any other interesting thing that can be utilized within the organization. And most importantly, psychological safety also encourages diversity and inclusion. Now, diversity and inclusion is another important aspect when it comes to managing human resources at a workplace. Since this class that we are having right now, it is very diverse. I mean, there are people coming from different areas and they are all here together, I mean, studying in this class. In most multinationals, there are people coming from all different backgrounds and working together in an environment where they are their individual identity, uh, their unique entity, their unique identity is protected in ways that it contributes significantly and it contributes positively to the overall organizational goal. Now, diversity and inclusion has been a very important and integral part of the HR department's policy making in recent years, because most of the multinational organizations are having people from all different backgrounds coming together and working together in organizational settings. So HR focuses a lot on making sure that all the employees, regardless of their background, they feel encouraged, they feel included, and they feel that they are contributing significantly to the overall organizational growth. All right, so just allow me to turn the fan on. I mean, we are just approaching the end of summers over here in Pakistan. The winter is about to come. It's not here yet because we just turned off the fans today. And I thought that by turning off the fan, it would be pleasant. But now actually I feel that I'm sweating. So I just took a break and turned the fan on. I hope that all of you are enjoying weather at your specific place, wherever you are. You can use the chat box and tell me that what season is there at the place that you are right now. You can write down the area that you are in, and you can obviously write down the weather that you are enjoying.
Ladies and
Now,
gentlemen, sorry, I
yeah,
was
Dr.
gonna
Vaidya.
echo your invitation, Dr. Hassan, to the participants. So you may proceed, please, with your presentation.
All right, thank you so much. So, now psychological safety has got a lot to do with building trust within the organization. Now, we understand that trust is largely about people, and psychological safety is about the overall group environment, the overall environment that in which they are able to build a collaborative system within the organization, and they are able to maintain a relationship of trust among each other. These both aspects are essential but distinct and different in nature. Now, there are different levels of psychological safety. The first one is inclusion safety, the other is learner safety, the third is contributor safety, and the fourth is challenger safety. We can understand that by these levels, we mean that all the challenges of the HR department are being met, all the challenges of the HR department are being taken into consideration. Like when it comes to inclusion safety, this means that whenever uh, all the individuals are welcomed in the organization, regardless of their diverse background, regardless of where they are coming from. Now, inclusion safety means that all the employees, they feel safe, they feel protected, they feel encouraged, and they feel valuable to be a part of a team, to be a part of that working environment, and they feel safe while sharing their ideas regardless of their gender, regardless of their background. Second part is regarding the learner safety, the psychological environment in which the employees, they feel that as a learner, as an individual within the organization who is able to seek guidance from mentors, who is able to seek guidance from the people around him or her, is able to feel safe regardless of being judged on the basis of their competency or on the basis of their knowledge, skill, or ability. Same goes for contributor safety. Like the employees, they should be able to feel safe when it comes to sharing their opinions, when it comes to being a positive and productive part, a productive contributor towards the overall organizational growth. And the fourth one is very critical. It is the challenger safety. Like we understand that raising voice and raising opinions regarding something productive is quite easy, but to challenge something that you may think is not right, but to criticize something or but to try to correct something, it becomes difficult in the organization because of many various factors which are there, which contribute towards developing a situation in which the employees, they may feel that their opinions may become a hurdle in the current organizational working. For example, how many of you are working in an organizational environment where you are able to challenge the opinions of your boss? For example, if your boss says something and you think and you know and you believe that whatever is being said is not right, whatever is being shared is it is not up to the mark, how many of you will be able to feel secure and feel safe to share your opinion that you think that whatever is being talked about, whatever is being shared is not up to the mark? This means that whether the organization is able to provide you with a safe environment or not. All right. So challenger safety is also very important. All right. Now there are certain barriers, certain restrictions which are there when it comes to psychological safety. In the meantime, allow me to have a look at the chat box. Let me see if there is some opinion or anyone who has shared anything. Oh, still nothing. I really encourage all of you to share up till now, whatever we have talked about. You can share your opinions. You can, and the best part is if you will be willing to share your experiences as well. If you are working in an organizational environment, it would be great if you are able to share your experience also. All right.
Don't feel shy, brothers and sisters. That is a very, very appealing and interesting topic. Your experiences, what you've gone through, what you've seen and heard within your organization, the companies that you work for, like Dr. Hassan invited you. Go ahead in the chat box. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie Bishop. This is what Anne-Marie Bishop shared in this area. Kindly, oh la la. disable the chat box so that we can post our opinion. So if I can read that, Anne-Marie, it certainly means that the chat box is open. It is available. It is not blocked right now. It's not disabled. You may go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, and post your opinions about certain experience that you've gone through, what you've seen or done in your interactions with particularly your supervisors, your boss. Uh, but Anne-Marie wrote again, no, it's not open, but it is open. If I can see it, if I can see it, all that you have written down, Anne-Marie, I can see them. The chat box is disabled. Therefore, we can't post. So those are your postings that I can see. I can see them. I can read them. You cannot post to each other. Let's say you cannot send communication to another participant. But if you write anything down in the chat block, like you've done, okay, now I understand something else. I understand something else because Robin Lee Hamati wrote, you can only chat to me. Wow.
It's
Now
all
I
right.
understand. Now I understand the issue. I apologize. I hope someone from our technology department
Yeah, it's
is watching this session, and it is key. My brothers and sisters, I mean, right now I am referring to the employees of AIU at the technology section. Please make sure that the chat box is shareable. Like anybody can chat for the entire group to see the comments. So please, let's make that happen. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry for the interruption, Dr. Hassan.
yeah, it's all right, Dr. Welkin. And it's all right if they are not able to use the chat box at the moment. It is perfectly all right. At the end, we will be having a kind of a question answer session, so they are always welcomed to share their opinions also. So I'll be continuing with my presentation now. So there are barriers to psychological safety. For example, the employees can feel the fear of being judged for regarding their opinions or suggestions or comments. Similarly, if the organization is encouraging authoritative leadership, so they would not be encouraging the employees to have a participative mindset, and their only focus would be on making sure that the authority might is right. The authority believes what they believe in is right, and the employees' opinions would not be valued. Similarly, when it comes to another all the other barriers regarding psychological safety, having unhealthy competition within the organization can serve as a barrier. And if the organization does not encourage or accept diversity, then it can be a barrier also. Uh, Now, how does it benefit or how does it make the organizational environment better? As I've already mentioned that having psychological safety at the workplace, it encourages increased innovation and creativity. The employees in the organization, they understand that their opinions are valued, their opinions, they matter. They can work better in teams. The team environment becomes better for the employees to work in because they all believe that their ideas, their opinions, and their participation is not going to be judged. It's not going to be undermined in any way, and it is going to be valued. The problem solving within the organization also improves, and it leads to increased job satisfaction as well. Now, as I mentioned in the topic that while it was shared with you while you were registering, that we are going to take Google as a case study. Now, Google uh, has worked a lot when it comes to developing a working environment or a space which is exemplary for the employees. Now, Google conducted a 2-year study on team effectiveness, in which psychological safety emerged as the number one factor in successful teams. Now, this is critical information that having an environment in which the organization makes sure that how the teams are able to perform effectively and appropriately within their working environments. So the main significant factor in that was the psychological safety. Now we believe that these organizations, they rely largely on teamwork. Teamwork is something that is a critical source of competitive advantage for organizations like Google. So their project Aristotle, uh, which is a scholar by its name, it's pretty obvious that it is to encourage the employees to think out of the box. It is to encourage the employees to feel valued, to believe that they are something unique and special. So in this, psychological safety was considered as the topmost factor. Now, what was Google able to find? The team where members felt safe, they were able to take risks, and it eventually helped in performing better. Now, companies like Google, they focus a lot on innovation, creativity, and they focus a lot on thinking out of the box and bringing new ideas into practice. So it was really effective for them to make sure that the working environment was conducive in ways that the employees, they felt like they are a part of a team which is in which all the members are considered to be valuable, and they are able to participate and share, and their mistakes would not be considered as something that needs to be punished. Openness to mistakes fosters creativity. We need to understand that even as an instructor, as a teacher myself, I believe that the best advice that I can give to my students is to make sure that they make mistakes, because making mistakes is going to help them become better. uh, our openness to mistakes within the organization, it always leads towards creativity, because obviously the employees, they don't already know that what is the true outcome of any experiment, what is the true outcome of any action that they are going to take. So if the organization provides a culture and environment in which they are actually encouraging the employees to take risks, to make mistakes, then obviously it fosters creativity. uh, Similarly, provision of voice up. And this is not only regarding just saying in an organizational culture that all of you can share your opinions. It is actually practiced by providing platforms, providing systems, providing communication channels and modes within the organization, so that they are able to raise voice in situations where it is required the most. For example, in discussions regarding overall improvement within the environment, and the provision of raising voice leads to this is Google's finding that it leads to determining stronger results. Now, what has Google learned from this, and what is it trying to do? Now, Google encourages all the people to share. It not only encourages, but it like really promotes, it supports, it like, I won't use the word force, but it like really encourages the people, the team players, to share their voices within the meetings. I'm sure that the people who are already working, my students are here right now today, if you have been working in an organization, you would know that people, they usually talk in their offices, they you talk in the corner meetings, they talk informally, but when it comes to formal meetings, usually the people are hesitant to share their opinions because they know that these opinions sharing can have consequences. So the employees, they need to understand, and the organization needs to understand that it's not only about providing, telling them to just share, it is about providing them a safe space to share their voice as well. So another practice that the Google does on frequent basis is that it leaders model vulnerability, like admitting the mistakes. Like leaders, they encourage that we are not supreme, we do not have the ultimate authority. Even we are bound to make mistakes as well, so that the employees, They also feel that making mistakes is not bad. Making mistakes is something that is common, and making mistakes would be an action of someone who is actually doing something. Similarly, when it comes to Google practices, Google is encouraging open feedback, and it is claiming to have an open feedback culture in which the employees are encouraged to share their feedback. And Google encourages and supports the difference and diversity of perspectives. Similarly, there is an idea of TGIF meetings where employees can ask leaders any questions. And this is something like really valuable and interesting, that you must be able to know that uh, holding the leaders accountable for something and actually asking them really puts them in a difficult and challenging situation. But this becomes a part of Google's culture, that asking questions, sharing concerns, and sharing opinions is considered to be something regular and normal. Now, failures are evaluated. If the company or the project fails at something, post-mortem is done, and the focus is on learning, not on blaming the anyone. I mean, it's not about the finding that who was wrong. It is about ensuring that how the system was understood and what can we learn from this. I think this is one of the most wonderful things that we can gain from this whole topic, that encouraging the employees to make mistakes and telling them that mistakes are not bad because we are going to learn from them. Similarly, cross-functional collaboration is encouraged where people from different departments or different units can actually work together. When people from different units work together, there are chances of conflicts arising. So Google is an organization that tries to make sure that these collaborations are based on positivity. They are based on finding the best things from the organizational system. So what role can the leaders actually play in order to make sure that psychological safety is ensured within the workplace? The leaders can create an inclusive climate, like they can make sure that the organizational environment is based on a core value of inclusivity, like they encourage each and every one of the participants to play a significant role to contribute positively towards the development of overall organizational goals. The leaders can also, they need to show empathy towards their employees as well. By empathy, it means that when the employees, they make mistakes, when the employees, they're not able to perform up to the mark, they know that the organization will be standing with them. The leaders will be extending complete support towards them. The leaders should also encourage questions and provide regular feedback. Like there should be a to and fro movement of communication between the leaders and the workers, so that the workers, they know that they are working in an organization where the leadership is extending all the support to make sure that the environment is safe for all the employees. In some organizations, the leadership it rewards speaking up as well. I mean, it encourages the people, the employees, to speak up in manners that they actually start offering rewards for it. What can HR department do in this? HR department can design policies that support open communication. This is something really important, that policies and procedures developed and designed by human resource management should be focused around minimizing the hierarchy and encouraging communication to and fro movement or extension of communication among the employees. They can also offer training programs for managers in which the managers are trained and developed to ensure that their relationship with their team workers is based around building of psychological safety and trust. Conflict management and conflict resolution systems should be based around fairness within the organization. Otherwise, people would not feel safe. People would not feel that their rights are being protected. And HR should also encourage peer support networks. This means that the people working in teams, working in groups. They should be encouraged to work in diverse groups even, so that they are able to learn more, they are able to share more, and they are able to be in situations where there are opportunities to solve problems, to resolve conflicts, and to learn more. This overall contributes towards the organizational culture of being psychologically safe. Psychological safety is also measured by employee surveys. Like the employees should be regularly asked that how safe do you feel in terms of sharing your opinions, ideas, and concerns. Um, the team performance reviews can provide insight into psychological safety, because if the teams are able to perform well, this shows that their overall performance, and it shows that their overall cohesion, their overall interdependence is on the rise. If the team performance is declining, this shows that people are not able to work together in a collaborative environment. Now, there should be anonymous feedback tools as well. I mean, the people should be, if still they feel unsafe to share their opinions, concerns regarding whatever is going on in the organization, anonymous feedback system should also be there. And observation of participation in meetings should be there. I mean, people should be actually rewarded for their participation in meetings, because that will show that how comfortable they are feeling when it comes to sharing of their opinions. Now, how can an organization build a psychologically safe environment? Active listening is one thing that the HR department or the organization can do when it comes to listening or hearing the concerns of the employees. By listening to their concerns actively, the organization can contribute towards building a psychologically safe environment. The employees' contributions should be recognized. Uh, Mistakes should be considered a part of learning, and decision making should be based around consensus and on shared basis, so that everyone feels that they are a part of an environment where the organization collaborates, where the organization works together to find the way out of difficult situations. Now, largely, it is not very, I would say, challenging or difficult for the organization. It is only about understanding that humans are quite dynamic and valuable, and they need to be treated as a unique resource, rather than just considering them as an asset of the organization and just treating them based on a transactional relationship of like asking them to do work and just to get paid and so on. They should be treated as entities, as individuals, as elements who are able to contribute positively towards the overall organizational growth. All right. So there are different scenarios, and you can relate with your scenarios as well, and you can share your opinions in the chat box, obviously. And at the end of the session, we are almost about to reach the end of the session. So, for example, a junior employee questions a process without any fear, like an employee who has just entered an organization. He or she witnesses something going on, and they raise their concern, or they raise a question that why are things being done like that? And there is no element of fear in them when it comes to asking questions. If the organization is able to provide such confidence to the employees, then it shows that they are able to develop or build a psychologically safe workplace. A manager is able to admit a miscalculation on his or her behalf openly in front of all the other people. This is one very common factor. Like in organizations, when the top management or when the managers they make mistakes, they, they, they know that they are going to be judged. Their ego becomes a barrier, and they are not able to speak to the people regarding uh, admitting their mistake even. So if an organizational culture, if an organizational environment provides such safety to the manager that he or she is able to admit a wrong calculation or a wrong is able to admit his or her mistake, and is able to do it openly, just for the sake of organizational betterment and just for the sake of realizing that this is going to make things better for organization. This means that the organization is successfully able to develop a psychologically safe environment. If another real life scenario is if that diverse cultural ideas are welcomed in brainstorming sessions, if the organization firstly holds frequent brainstorming sessions in which people are encouraged to share and speak whatever comes to their mind regarding certain things which are happening in the organization, and if the organization actually encourages people from different backgrounds to raise their opinions, their ideas based on maybe their cultural belonging on their different backgrounds. Now, there are certain challenges that the organization may face when it comes to creating a psychologically safe environment. Like they can face resistance from the traditional managers. By traditional managers, we mean that the people who are hesitant to change, who are typically believers in hierarchy, who believe that their authority may be challenged if they are asked that if you are what you are doing is it may not be right. I think this is one question that all of you need to ask yourselves as well, that how positively would you take this opinion from someone from the peers or from your supervisors when they tell you, or from your workers even, if you are working in a managerial capacity, when they tell you that what you are doing is not right, how would you respond to it? Would you find it difficult to admit your wrongdoing, or would you be having a growth mindset, and would you be claiming that this can be for the overall betterment? Now, there are certain, another challenge may be cultural differences in openness, because we understand that people coming from different background and different cultures, some of the cultures, they encourage participation. On the other hand, in some cultures, there is high power distance. By high power distance, we mean that employees, in terms of respect, they are not able to share their concerns, or they find it rude to share their concerns and opinions. So this can become a barrier when it comes to developing a psychologically safe workplace. And there is another key aspect that the organization needs to balance freedom with accountability as well. It doesn't mean that each and every one of us continue to keep making mistakes and we keep on admitting them without having the fear of, not the fear, but without having the aspect of being held accountable for what we are doing. Accountability is something very critical, very important, and it needs to be considered before actually developing a system. So in conclusion, psychological safety means it leads towards a foundation of an innovative and creative working environment. We took Google as a top example, and we understood that the different experiments that Google is doing in its workplace, they contribute towards understanding that creating such environments, they lead to employee productivity and they make the organization better in many ways. And there is a significant role of HR to ensure that psychological safety is considered as a key factor that can be established as a part of the organizational culture so that the organization continues to grow sustainably. So this was all about my presentation today.